Today, I want to show you one of my secret strategies that I've been using to earn money consistently in the market, especially on Bitcoin. Because as you know, the easiest way to make money is just to buy and hold it until we get a good price to sell it. But first of all, remember that I'm not a financial advisor, and this is not a financial advice. It's my personal opinion and the way that I've been making money, especially with Bitcoin. So what do I do to actually see where is a good entry point? Well, first of all, what I do is I mark out every 10,000 line. Okay, so in this case, I would mark a line at 40,000, at 50,000, at 60,000, at 30,000, at 20,000. I've been using this strategy since the first time it came up to 60,000. But how do I buy with this? Well, basically what I do is I wait for a confirmation, and the confirmation is that the price goes over my line. In this case, it came over 60,000. So when this happens, it becomes the expensive price. So once I've got an expensive price, I can look for cheap prices to buy. So where's going to be my cheap price? $10,000 down. So as we can see here, it came up to 60,000. What I'm going to do now is wait for it to retrace to 50,000 to buy my first level. So in this case, my first buy is going to be at this price right here. Okay, so I'll enter a long at this position, but not a long as in futures. I'm going to enter a long to hold it. I'm actually buying the crypto. But at this position here, I'm only going to buy a 10% of my capital. So let's say I'm starting off with $1,000. So at this price, I'm going to buy $100. Okay, so what happens if the price goes up? So if the price would have gone back up to here, I would have earned 25% more or less on these 125. But in this example, it didn't go up, it fell lower. So what do I do now? I buy at the next cheaper level. So the next cheaper level is at 40,000. So at 40,000, what am I going to do? I'm going to buy a 20% of my capital. So in this case, I would have put in here 200 euros if I would have started with 1,000 euros. And the price drops even lower and it comes to the level of 30,000. So what do I do here? I buy $3,000 because remember, I've got $1,000. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide it in different stages. So now I'm going to buy $300. Right at the moment when the price is down here, I have spent $600 in Bitcoin waiting for a profit. And as we know, Bitcoin went up again. Where am I going to sell all these positions? When it comes back to the last high. So in this case, my $100 that I bought here made a total profit of 26%. So we have 126 at this point here. Then my second position with $200 reached up amount to 55%. So this made me more or less $300. And my $300 position made me a total of 100%. So this $300 turned into $600. So basically I've invested $600 and I've made $1,026 with this small investment. And basically I just repeat this over and over again. When the price came up here, I sold everything. Price never got up to the 70,000. It traced back, so this was still the expensive price. So I bought another 10% down here. So let's say I bought another $1,000 at this point here. Price went below again, so I bought another one down here with $200. Remember, I go 10, 20, 30 and 40% to match 100%. So in this case, I put $200 here. Then it came lower, even more lower. So what I did was buy at this level here. In this case, I bought the $300. As we can see here, bought 300. I still keep in having a negative drawdown. And the price just continues going down, and I just keep buying with the capital that I've got to buy. So in this case, I bought $400 at this last level down here. Now I've got all this done and I've got all my money invested. If you see, I started buying at the highest level. Okay, so I was the first ones of going in, but I had the most capital at the lowest level, and I bought at the best level that Bitcoin has been since it had this bull run. So it came back down to 20,000, and that was the best level to buy at the moment. And I entered in that level despite I entered in the other ones. And this is the way how I do it, so I can always increase my capital buying Bitcoin. In this case, most of the times I've done it with Bitcoin, but you can do it with virtually any others. You only need to see what price ranges you're going to use. So in this case, I sold again at the last time high. So in this case, last time high, let's put it just a bit below, because you know sometimes it can retrace below. So these $100 came back up here and made me a 35%. So in this case, my $100 I now have got a value of $135. My $200 increased its value by a total of 68%. So now they have a value of $336. Now my $300 position even made more because obviously I bought it at a lower price. So this one made a total of 124%. So now these $300 have turned into $672. So this is made more than the double. And now my $400, where I've got most of my capital allocated, made me a 235%. So my $400 have now turned into $1,340. Okay, so like I did before, I started with $1,000 and I finished with a total of $2,483. All this obviously didn't happen in one day, because since I did my first buy until it reached the high again, was 815 days. So just a bit less than 3 years. Is this bad? No. Obviously, I'm having a return of 150%. That makes me a 50% return on my money every year. And obviously, this is quite a lot if you look at different investment states where they make you a 15 or 20% per year. I'm making myself a 50% each year on my money. And obviously, in this case, an example with $1,000, it's just a small budget. But if we invest more money, then we would have more return, because it's not the same making a 50% on $1,000, that would be $500, and making it on $10,000, that is $5,000. And as we can see, it happened exactly the same here. It made my new high, like I say here, it broke the high. It validated this price here, so what I did, I bought on this place here. What did it do? It came back up here. I sold right up here. Okay, so I was doing a bit more, I could call it shorter term trading. Price went back up, I sold, it validated my price, it came back down, I bought again. Price went up, I sold, price validated my zone, it came down, so I bought another bit here and I bought another bit here. In this case, I'm still using smaller budget, so I bought a 10% and a 20% here, so a 30%. Price went up again, made my high, and this time it didn't retrace anymore. Price went up and up and up. It hit the price that we all know, that was 100,000. Price went up to nearly 110,000, but it hasn't validated my price yet, so this is still my expensive price. So I bought at 90,000 at this last drop here, as we can see. And what I did was sold again when it came up to the high, where I've got marked this green zone, that is marked 106. I sold at this price here, and now I'm just basically waiting again for either it to validate my price up here, or for it to come back down here to buy a bit more. And if it goes lower, I'll buy more and buy more and buy more. In this case, my last position from this height up here, I'll be buying at 90, 80, 70 and 60. 60 would be the last price that I'll be entering, unless I want to invest any more if it goes any lower. But in this case, if it comes back down, I'll be investing at this point here at 10%, a 20%, a 30% and a 40%, having this a lot of chance to have a bounce right up here, as it's happened in the past when it's had accumulation. Price has come back down and it's gone back up. And this is the simplest way I've found to make money on Bitcoin in the long term, and by virtually doing nothing than put in only buy limit positions, waiting for the price to touch my zone and put in take profits at the high of the top. But leave me back down in the comments what you think if you like this strategy, and I'll see you next time.